Aloha, familia.
Aloha. Ha. 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 That feels good.
It feels really good. It's that heart vibration.
Yeah.
You know? Yo, we're going to be talking in this video about how our own cleverness got in the way of life happening.
Or making life happen.
Making life happen.
Yeah.
Making life happen. And
Yeah.
I'm joined here by an esteemed brother and mystic on the path, someone I've been co-creating events with now for several years. Mr. Frank J. Porcaro. Welcome.
Thank you, brother. It's such an honor. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so stoked to have this conversation. I'm going to share this on my page and, like, get into it. Like, we were talking the other day, like, it was late at night, everyone was sleeping,
Right.
and we just got into a flow.
We got into
and
some
when
deep territory.
when we get in a conversation, man, we go deep and
Super
vast
deep.
and wide, and like,
Right.
and there was something that really sparked within us, which is what we're going to talk about, is like our own cleverness, our own rational thinking, and sometimes our own knowledge and self-awareness can get in the way of not only life happening, but making life happen.
Right. Engaging with life in a very powerful way where you're initiating change, you're initiating transformation, you're actually on that upward spiral. And yeah, to provide some context, and if you're tuning in, let us know where you're watching from. To provide some context, we were up late in Venice, California in this epic Airbnb with the tribe. We're there for some events. I was with Mystic, with an immersion client. We're up late talking about our story with career, with wealth, with women, with our well-being and the mystic path of often going it alone and going deep into process with ourselves and our transformation. And what we started to share and realize that we have both experienced was, wow, our own cleverness and rationalizations and thinking about life and how, okay, I'm going to plan and get everything in place to make things happen. I'm going to use my intellect to empower myself and empower my life. And actually how this began to get in the way of making life happen. Life couldn't happen when I was living from a rationality, when I was living from a mental world in which I need to think, plan, and strategize to the nth degree in order to initiate transformation.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a disease type of mindset that is very common. I fell into the trap as well. It's like, all right, I need to do this and this and then this, and then I can make it happen, right? And I hear this a lot with people that are in that jump phase that we were talking about this morning at breakfast. It's like there's usually a jump phase where you're working a job, then you get the inspiration, you start to do the development, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go the entrepreneurial path, and I'm gonna make money with my own creativity. You know what you want to do, you're very clear, and then you got one foot in and one foot out.
Oh yeah.
And it's like there's a leakage of energy there. It's like it's there gets a point where you gotta make that jump, and I keep hearing the same thing across the board. It's like, oh, I have to I gotta get a business plan, or I need some more coaching, or I gotta go to this event, and then I can make it happen.
Get the thing. Then I can have it.
Right? It's crazy.
This is a mental game and a mental trick. Sometimes, yeah, you very much need support, guidance. You need a coach. You need some transformational planning. However, if you're in this state, and you know who you are if you're watching this video, I wonder if this is resonating with you. You know who you are because you're in that free fall and you're in the uncomfortability. We're calling it the void. We're talking about being in the void of
it's a dark tunnel.
Fully being in the new paradigm and not fully being out of the old one. It's a middle point. And in that space, guess what? You got to make life happen.
You got to make it happen. Like, it's so freaking scary. I even talked to my brother, God Davio, that I can't wait to introduce you to him when he comes this weekend. He's like, he's in that same place. And I just start speaking truth, tell him this. He's like, ah. And I bet some of you that are in that jump are like, oh, I know this. Oh, I think about it. I know. It's like, you got to get out of the know and into the do. And it's like, how do we actually bridge that fucking gap? Because sometimes we know way too much, and we start to make life this intellectual foreplay, which is cool to do that. It's fun.
Clever.
It's clever to like intellectualize and like have all the right words and the zest, and like some people that don't have that wisdom can like look at you and give you the significance, like, oh, this person's so smart, they know everything, they must be doing it. But there's a big difference between knowledge and wisdom, and I feel like experiential wisdom Gnosis is almost like the dosis of knowledge, right?
Ooh, taking doses of gnosis. My prognosis is flow this. No, this is it. Like, there's a middle point between the two where your strategy, your planning, your foresight, it's potent. But once you have the map, as soon as you are in a space or in full alignment, you have gnosis, your heart's online, and you're on the edge of the cliff, guess what? Any more planning after that point, your own cleverness is going to trick you out of your fucking transformation. It tricked me out of so many breakthroughs in relationships, in financial opportunities, in creative projects. I got tricked out of taking radical action.
Do you remember like a moment, like an actual story?
Man. Well, I mean, a story would be backpacking Southeast Asia, right? I was on a very spiritual journey. I quit corporate, was fully in the free fall, had no income, had no plan. And yet, I spent all my time making plans instead of, what was I needing to do? Take a radical step. I hadn't even got on video yet. I hadn't even been sharing my story. I wasn't in front of people sharing this. What was I doing? Reading all the blog websites, how to start your 6-figure online business, how to start a wellness blog that gets you affiliate links. And I read every single article and I made pages after pages of Google Docs. And yet, what happened? Nothing happened for 9 months while I traveled, and then I got back to California, and then I flipped the complete other way to some suffering of just action. And guess which one got me further?
Which one?
Action got me further, although it was messy at first. It is what got me out of the cleverness illusion. I was being real clever with learning all that stuff, and guess what? It comes in handy. There's a part. There's definitely
different segments of the journey where it all is important. And at the same time, like, this is what's coming to me is certainty. Right? Any kind of uncertainty inhibits movement.
Boom.
And this is what I'm feeling is like, even just now, like coming to where I'm at in my life is like movement, having a flow of movement. And when I'm in movement is that I'm certain, and that doesn't mean everything's certain, but I'm focused on what I am certain about, and I lock it in until something starts to create uncertainty, and then I gotta create certainty instantly, or I can't move. There's an inhibition of movement. And I want you all to think about that, like where in your life, in your relationships, in your business, in your sexuality, in your finances, where are you uncertain? Because this is like karmic weight, and that's weighing on you right now. And you need to find a way to find at least some level of certainty and pathway so that you're clear and you move.
Wow. If you're watching this and you're feeling sensation intensify in your body, I invite you to share it in the comments. And where are you uncertain, and what can you do about it? So it's a fun prompt for you right now. Basically, the key philosophy here, it's all about that river. We talk about the Taoism principles. When you're in movement, you're going to build momentum. And momentum, as all entrepreneurs know, as anyone in a deep relationship knows, as anyone walking through life knows, to have mastery, you have to keep momentum. And without movement, you're not going to build momentum. How do you block movement? Being really clever. Today I'm gonna use this plan to bypass movement and momentum because I'm actually pretty good at my comfort zone. Maybe I'll strategize a few moves ahead. You're playing chess, you have to keep taking moves. Your strategy is unfolding within that. You don't get to sit back from the table and be like, what am I going to do next? Where am I going to put my pieces? Where am I going to put my energy and certainty? You don't get to do that. And if you do, actually, now you're going to experience the stagnation.
The stagnation is like death. And like if movement happens, I think movement happens either way. Right? Think about it. Movement happens either way.
Happen no matter what.
But if we don't consciously move forward, it's going to move downward.
Right.
And then it goes in, the same. Think about this. Like, think about this. So relates to me, and when I witness and I work with people, I see this kind of foreplay of energy work out this way, which is like they start to move, and then they get obstacles or rejection, and something tries to interfere their flow. They take it too personally, and that movement or that energy goes inward, and then when it stays inward, it needs to go somewhere, and it usually goes down into self-destruction, self-sabotage, downward spiral. So if we look at life as movements of energy, a way to actually capitalize and take advantage of that isn't by taking a personal, just knowing what's actually happening here. So say, for example, if we get rejected or something interrupts our flow, then we can go in and we can get into thought. And when we're inward into thought for too long,
right,
that's a very dangerous zone, and it has a high probability of going downward.
Right.
Okay, and then you have to cycle through, hit rock bottom, and then come back up. And this can happen in a day, can happen in a week, can happen in years, sometimes decades for some people.
Sure.
Right? And when I think a really well-developed person can shift quickly, but this still kind of thing happens. So when you notice yourself going inward, like I want myself to hold myself accountable. Like, okay, think about it. Find the certainty, find what needs to be resolved, what's taking my emotional, mental, physical, spiritual energy, resolve it, and immediately get back out.
Right.
When I stay outward, then I'm in action, in life, in making
Life's
things happening. It's not up here anymore. Inward is up here. There's a time and a place for that to reflect, but that's a small percentage.
It is.
Because I'm very introspective, and for a long time, I that was my dominant energy, and I couldn't understand why I kept sabotaging myself. I'm like, wow, I have all this knowledge, I have these experiences, I keep contemplating is because my whole game of life was inside.
Right.
It wasn't outside.
It's not in balance.
We got to take this and bring it out and
Right.
start making this happen outside of us.
Totally, and there's a breakthrough right there. It's the train breakthrough here in Lucadia. But there's a balance between them that is very potent, and that is, I think of the 80-20 rule. What if 20% of your action was internal and getting clear and unblocking, stepping back into introspection to gain self-knowledge, but 80%'s got to be action in the world, creating momentum, living from flow and in flow, so you can get the fastest pathway of released resistance that's going to take courage and certainty towards your goals in your health, wealth, relationships, in your kingdom or queendom. And, there's many ways that cleverness and being too clever, like how can I avoid working hard? That's the way I'm always trying to be clever. I take working smarter, not harder really far in my business. And it has hurt me to my detriment because it's prevented me from action. Getting really clever about who I'm going to connect with, right? Being super selective on the negative side with who's in your tribe and shutting yourself out to opportunity. Another way I get really clever is getting clever about my time management and trying to min-max too much. So I want to min-max is like adjust the dials so I'm spending the minimum amount of time on the maximum effort and getting too clever about that to the point where not only am I not being clever, it's just stupid because it's against the laws of nature, but I'm preventing myself from action because I'm second guessing or I'm in hesitation. And those energies are going to block you every time, 10 times out of 10. Hesitation is going to delete that part of life where you make it happen. Yeah. Not in an aggressive or violent way, but in a certain way.
Yeah. What's up, Isaiah? It's good to see you, brother. It's good to see you on here and tuning in. You know what I was just feeling is like just like a fundamental life law that I think everyone comes across sooner or later. It's like whatever you do, you get better at.
Right.
You get good at, if you keep getting you keep hesitating, you get better at hesitating.
You become a master of hesitation.
I fucking realized that in my life, bro. There were certain things that I was hesitating at, and I kept hesitating and became a pattern. I'm like, whoa, shit. So it's just so true, and I want to be super careful not to take this intellectual knowledge and to continue to think about it. You see what I'm saying? So for example, a friend of mine wants to start a business and thinking intellectually how to do it, and I'm like, man, that is not, I don't think how real movement of a business happens, like a why and a who and a what.
Right.
That comes first before the how, right? The hows are so easy. There's 1,000 pathways
Billions
to create things.
So many.
You find it as you do it. You don't need to know the how to get that. The how happens by figuring it out. How is problem solving. You don't problem solve before the problem happens. No. You problem solve in the moment.
You encounter it.
You encounter it, but but you don't encounter it unless you're in movement of it, right?
Right.
And so like the who are you? The speaking the life and saying God, life, spirit, like this is who I'm becoming. This is so deep in my heart. This is what I want to experience in this lifetime. I'm willing to give whatever it takes to move in this direction. Guide me, love me, speak through me, love through me, give through me. I surrender the past and everything that inhibited me up to this point. I give myself to you now and for all time. And that's where a mission starts.
Come on.
It doesn't start in the business fucking plan.
No. It takes it's a radical who. You want to talk about the questions? This boy is on fire. I'm talking about the who. And not just who am I serving, who is my people that I'm in service to, but who am I? If you're focusing on who am I, you're going to take radical action. Because you're going to feel that charge of like, ooh, wow, this is my core mission on earth. My core mission to service. And you're going to step into action and have courage. Because where does courage come from? If it's all about me, I might be a little more clever. If it's about other people and they're expecting me and demanding that I show up, guess what? My courage is going to 10x. And that's going to bleed into radical action. Yeah. One radical action can quantum leap you more than 1,000 hows. 1,000 plans mean nothing in the face of radical action.
It's true. And relationships, I feel like, are the true wealth as well. I just got an insight. Like, think about this. All right, so you have the vision. Let's talk about chakras, right? We have the vision, right, in the third eye. And we see what our life could be like if we step up, if we up level, right? We see it. And then it has to go into the heart where the energy is, our source, this is the source of energy. And it goes into the compassion, the why, the purpose, right? But if it stays in the vision, in the heart, it still doesn't move. And I think there's where a lot of people get stuck in between here, and then it has to go into the root. When you go in the who, right? Think about like the grounding, right? Who. It has to go in the fucking root to move. It has to be part of the sexual energy in action,
right?
And also the voice, right? It's a vision. Speak it, feel it, and then move it from your root.
Right. This is a critical factor, and what you're talking about is profound because it's in the dynamic meditation of Osho, which we've had the chance to practice together multiple times. But the who is the who, like you're literally impacting the energy to go down from the heart. You said something profound. Throat and heart. There's this like that gets stuck. Keep talking about it. Planning, cleverness, planning, and then boom, it goes down into the hara, the third chakra, which is power, and that's action. It's connected to your hands, and then the sacral relationship root. It's in your life. It's manifested in physical reality. It's in your bank account. It's on your calendar. This is the big one. If it's not in your bank account or on your calendar, I don't actually believe you're taking action on it on some crazy level, right? Like true. If you really want to learn about someone and their level of commitment to following their word, take a look at their calendar, take a look at their bank account. Because that's going to tell you where they're manifesting it, and that's through the root onto earth. There's a lot of people with vision, me one of them, which is why, and I know you are visionary as well. This is how we can get trapped in the cleverness, is getting stuck up here. And then even in the heart, you can feel it.
You can feel it.
Right.
Like I feel this baby is so big. The mission's so big. You can feel it. And like it's so beautiful. But yes, then it stays there. And it stays there.
This is how you make life happen. You
gotta get
it all the way down and in. And this is something we were actively practicing.
It's scary, especially for spiritual people because they've been trying to detach from the root.
Sure.
Right? In a way, they're trying to detach from it, but it's like you go all the way up and you come all the way back down.
Right.
You go up to the mountaintop and come right back to the marketplace and you bring it into the physical plane. Right? And like and it's raw. It's like it's a this is controversial, but it's like a sexual experience.
Oh yeah.
You're raw, you're naked, you're like in life, people are seeing you're vulnerable, you're speaking your story. It's like you have money coming and transferring. It's like this raw, vulnerable experience. Your life's not private anymore, and like right? It's like you're not playing it safe. You're in it. You're in life.
Yes.
And it takes a lot of courage, and it takes like a reason like, wow, I'm here to actually have this raw human experience. Not to escape it by playing it safe.
Ooh, or escaping it by planning so you can protect yourself in the future. And this is really the source of the cleverness is the rational mind is a beautiful tool. It's a terrible master. It's a terrible master. If you make the rational mind master, you will live in the labyrinth of cleverness. And I have suffered there, as I know you have.
Well, that's the journey,
It's part of the journey, and if you're watching this video and you're feeling this, you're really feeling this, and you are resonating with what we're saying, and you're in that state of planning, strategy, know that it is part of the journey, and also know at any moment you're one radical action away.
That's it.
You're one radical action away from making life happen.
Yeah.
Because you may think life's happening to you right now. Maybe finances are low. Maybe you're not in your most creative profession or job. And it doesn't feel good. We were having a great conversation this morning about this. You're one radical action away from initiating the upward spiral. Because you cannot stay stagnant, so it'll downward spiral until you choose to take action and leave the rational mind's cleverness.
I want everybody to feel, that's powerful, bro. I want everybody to feel that trance-like state of ecstasy, of flow. Because once you're in flow, you're not thinking anymore and rationalizing. You're just like in this deep place of trust and movement. Trust, movement, see, feel, go, see, feel, go, see, feel, go. And it's just like boom, boom, boom. And then you assess in the moment, you problem solve, and then you go. Assess in the moment, problem solve, and you go. It's like, it's getting into that state of flow.
It's trusting life. If you trust life, you can act that fast.
It's vulnerable.
With that much purpose.
It's vulnerable.
It's very vulnerable.
You want to make shit happen, you got to be vulnerable.
You got to willing to open yourself up to both probabilities.
Done.
You may not always win. In fact, in the beginning, because you haven't practiced it, you've been practicing cleverness or hesitation, you're going to suck and you're going to trip like a baby. And it's okay. Like, the universe is going to pick you up every time. It's going to pick you up every time. Wow, actually, I'm channeling. You're channeling. This is potent. I want to reel back and engage with y'all and invite you to share this video or tag someone that needs to hear this. Send us some hearts if you're vibing. We got Frank Che's Instagram down here.
Thank you.
Follow this man. Check out his work, and to keep his container tight and powerful, potent, sending this out into the ethers, what are you working on? What are you most excited about creating? And how can people take a radical action? I have one obvious idea, but I'll let you share.
What I'm most excited right now, two pathways. One, international tribe design.
Yep.
That's where we collaborate and partner in a raw human experience. One word, connection. We catalyze that through music, movement, memetics, like memes, language, and mystery. So the next event is actually almost sold out. It's in Oregon, October 19th. And the one after that's going to be even bigger on the big island of Hawaii, January 3rd. So you can put the link in, and they can check that out. And then also I'm doing an all-women's immersion retreat in Tulum, Mexico on November 1st to the 5th. And that's for women that are processing deep emotional wounds, that are looking to really step into their power and their truth. And I'm teaming up with Monica Paleo. She's a shadow worker. She's amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
This man is a embodied presence of catalyzing transformation, because as we know, transformation is real. Scope out International Tribe Design. October event is almost sold out. If you guys want to apply, really get in and apply for the January event. Big Island of Hawaii, bring in the new year on a whole nother level. We're going to be there co-creating together. And I also want to invite anyone watching this to reach out to me personally. And I'd be happy to get on a call with you and invite you into the new coaching container I've created. It's only 3 and 6 month commitments. I'm going all in and doubling down on being the way shower and guide for this level of transformation in your health, wealth, and relationships. Not living in the past, not living in the mind, not living in cleverness. We're living from the heart, and it is a fast, wild energy.
It is a fast, wild energy, and I just wanna share, with the people watching on my Instagram, this guy right here. He's an embodied masculine man. He does a lot of great work with men and women as well. And man, you are so sincere and so grounded and so committed to service, and he will stimulate thoughts and ideas and breakthroughs so quickly. And what I feel you're best at catalyzing is someone to really get out of their head and into expression.
Yes.
And so if you're thinking about working with him, I highly recommend it. Reach out to him.
Appreciate you. Follow this man as well at Frank J. Porcaro on Instagram. He's tagged on my Facebook.
Love
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you for watching. Peace and love.